It's me again, yeah, on my fucking YouTube channel, imagine that. And this shirt, I'm not wearing the same shirt, well, technically I am, but it's been in the wash, so it's not, so it's a fresh shirt. It's a fresh shirt, but it's the same one I've worn in the last video, so do with that information what you please. So, I'm sweaty as fuck again because one, it's summer, two, I've been trying to find some chains because, listen, look, this little shiny reflective bottle, I'm like, it looks a lot nicer in real life. Looks a bit like a vintage mirror, those crackly ones, but you can see that it's nice and silvery and reflective and chrome and whatever they call it, so I've been wanting to make that into a pendant necklace, whatever, and I remember that I have some chains in boxes in another space, so I've been trying to locate that when some unpleasant memories came back, so I'm going to tell you about that. First of all, like a trigger warning of sorts, like abuse, emotional abuse, narcissists, heavy stuff. So if you're sensitive to that, maybe click off. And in other, and if you're not sensitive, please enjoy one of my many uncomfortable, nasty experiences of my lifetime. Okay, so in 2019, my uncle died. He was like the patriarch of the family, even though like, I don't support that shit, it's just a little outdated. And I've decided to spend 15 days with my aunt, which were not easy. She's a difficult woman, but listen, my family, she's the nicest one while being outrageously racist and homophobic. So you can imagine what the others are like. Lucky me. And, you know, on my journey home, everything was like, okay, my mum won't leave me the fuck alone. If you know narcissists, you know that if they mark you as their own, you have no peace. You literally will never have any. You have to you have to be incredibly strong to be able to set your boundaries with a narcissist. It, I, if you know, you know, and I'm sorry. If you know, I'm deeply sorry that you have had. If you have had half the experiences I've had, I'm sorry. That's basically all I can say. And she texted me on the bus ride home and everything seemed fine. And I came back home exhausted. And they were like, oh, yeah, we got into your room, your space, and we did this and that. And I was too fucking tired to care. Like, I was too exhausted. I spent 15 days listening to homophobic and racist rants while being anti-racist and queer myself, so it was like, if your husband hasn't died, I would have shoved you off a cliff. Yes, I love my family. So that was fun, and then the next morning I woke up and it just hit me that my room hasn't been cleaned, it's been cleaned up. Like, all of my decor, all of my things were gone. And then it hit me that it's been one of those narcissistic endeavors, if you have your own personality and likes and dislike around a narcissist, they're going to do everything to convert you to their side of things. Like, I'm a goth, I like spooky things. You can see over there, that's a deer skull. Over there are bats. This is like my maybe a room tour one day when I actually have a nice space. But like whatever, I had to reinstall all of that, all of my crystals. Anyway, that's a bit later in the story. And I woke up to seeing my room cleaned the fuck up. Everything was gone. All of my decor, my candle holders, my I also collect teacups. All of that was gone. Imagine like all of your life in like all of the material representations of your existence on Earth just like being gone and wiped out. And then I realized that I'm going to go through some fucking nasty arguments because that just wasn't okay. Like nobody told me they'd be doing that. Nobody informed me of anything. They just snuck into my space and you know. And of course, when you try to say something to a narcissist and the flying monkey, it's like we're doing it all for your good. Your room was dirty. There were snakes and spiders. Literally, they were saying that there were snakes and spiders in my room. Okay, so there was a slight coating of dust, which has been, I said, okay, so if my room has been dirty and it has been dirty for years, so why haven't you addressed this issue ever in the course of those years? And it's always like, like playing the victim and you're being the bully, and if you know narcissists, you know this. So I first tried to set a boundary that I'm going to get a key to my room, which of course escalated in a horrible argument. And then I tried to rearrange my things back as they were. They were all in boxes, and then they started pushing this topic of some storage on my balcony. Like, I got my own room when I was 18. You could say that's kind of late in life. And I never had a balcony. There was always a refrigerator and tools, and it was just a storage space for other people other than myself. So the refrigerator broke, and they removed the tool closet off the balcony. That was like the one positive thing. But they still wanted to put in some new, cheap, ugly, probably IKEA or IKEA-esque furniture. And I was like, no, absolutely the fuck not. I'm going to have a balcony for the first time in my life, and you're going to like it. Setting boundaries with a narcissist, again, I repeat, very difficult and heartbreaking. And one thing about arguing or even talking to a narcissist is that gaslighting comes naturally to them. It's part of their nature. And I mean by gaslighting, I don't mean like lying. I mean gaslighting, actual proper gaslighting, is somebody trying to push you into insanity by trying to convince you of lies that they are the truth. And it was horrible, just horrible, trying to get a key for my space and trying to argue that what they did wasn't the right thing to do. It was an invasion. It was. But there's no. The only thing you can do with a narcissist is plan an escape route because they'll never change. All you can do is try to figure out how to remove them permanently from your life, which isn't easy. It really isn't easy. They consider you an extension of themselves, maybe even their property, so they are always prepared to do some even illegal things for their purposes, and sometimes they even get away with it. Like, sometimes they even manipulate police or anybody, or like anybody who's in the law, they can get away with some things that by being manipulative, So yeah, it was a ton, and it was a ton of nasty, horrible arguments. And at this point, and at that point in my life, I just don't let things go because I've had so much done to me by my narcissistic mother and her partner in crime, and I do mean that literally. My father, to be quite honest, I picked up some of their own methods that I employ on them. You have to do what you can do to survive in such a household. And I do have to say that it was another attempt to get me to be like, not normal, but like, to her liking. She doesn't like the things that I like, she doesn't approve of them, and I should just be normal, her version of normal. I shouldn't like the things that I like. I shouldn't like black. I shouldn't like purple. I shouldn't like Halloween. I should like what she likes. And that was like a strong attempt to get me to give up who I am and just submit to her whims, which not going to happen. Not at this point. She has done that to me for like all of my childhood, all of my teens, a good chunk of my 20s. So, no. In all honesty, one of us is going to die. And that's how this will end. One of us is going to leave this earth. Maybe her, maybe even me. It's a little uncertain at this point, so that is my rant, and be nice to others. If there's somebody says they are dealing with a narcissist, believe them and try to do what you can, because it's a horribly difficult situation, especially if their parent is a narcissist. So that is all from me.